welcome to Point Blank, platform where we discuss issues confronting Africa. I am Ricky Brown and your host. 2 ex-Guantanamo Bay prisoners are in Ghana for a 2-year reintegration program. They are Ben Atif, 36, admitted member of the Taliban terror cell, which the US consider him to be high risk to the US and also to American interests. And the other gentleman is Salih Mohammed Al-Dubi, who is also 38 and suspected to have links with Al-Qaeda and considered to be low risk by the US national security. Is their presence in Ghana causing fear and uncertainties among Ghanaian people? And for information on the desk, they are meant to be in Ghana for 2 years. And where would they go after the 2 years? On the discussion table this evening, I have Mr. Prince Achampon, a medic with special interest in African development, and Madam Aban, a radio hostess, business entrepreneur, and social activist. And I have Mr. Kusi Frimpon, a social analyst. Welcome on the show.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
The government of Ghana, the foreign minister came out to say these people are unable to actually go back to their home country, which is Yemen, due to the conflict going on. It's a conflict going on in the country right now, but there is no guarantee the conflict is going to stop in the next 2 years. So where would these 2 people go after the 2 years? But based on that, let's start from here. Were Ghana forced to take these prisoners, or were they taken out of the goodness of their own hearts? If I should start that from you, Mr. Frimpon.
My point is nowhere in international politics, you see, it's a doggy dog world. It's a zero-sum game. Every country has to look out for its interest, first of all. It has nothing to do with, you see, with America saying that these people are terrorists, they've not tried them, first of all, so they cannot accuse them of being terrorists. But then they've housed them under, what do you call it, under Guantanamo Bay rules. You know, there was epic camp and we had all these humanitarian issues. And you see, the issue is, if you've not tried someone and the person is not guilty, as you've said, under American democratic laws, these people are free. And the first thing that they should consider, being a signatory to the UN's Charter of Human Rights, America should have taken these people. But then the Senate of America says no. The government of America has to resettle these people. Okay.
So to resettle people, was Ghana the best place for them? They
are
are originally from Yemen.
I was going to go to that point. You see, Guantanamo Bay is a place that American has leased from Cuba. You see, so if you are resettling people and Americans don't want to accept them, the first people you need to talk to is the Cubans. I don't think America has the know-how to talk to or they do, but you know, they don't have that sort of a relationship to talk to the Cubans. So the next people you should be looking at are your allies in the Middle East, which Saudi Arabia, I believe, is one. Countries like Bahrain, you know, Israel maybe. These are the places that the people should go because that's where they come from. Or possibly they should go to Afghanistan because that's where the Americans arrested them from, but not to Ghana.
Right. Not to Ghana, but now they found themselves in Ghana. Madam Aban, if I should come to you, were Ghanaians forced to take them? Or maybe the Ghanaian Hospitality?
I don't think so. What I understand is that we, as Ghanaians, we've been shot from the back. This was hidden under. No one was aware in Ghana. Because situations like this, it needs to be in the public domain to test the feelings of the people. Because at the end of the day, the present administration has been voted in to represent the people. And according to the opposition, they had no idea. But according to some members of the administration, one would say I knew, one would say I didn't. So they've lied to us. They went in for a deal that would suit them as a government.
A deal that would suit them in what way? Was any
We
monetary
do
or
not know.
promises involved?
We do not know what has been promised to them as a government, because we have an ambassador in the US.
Right.
He's been given credit to as somebody who has got the experience. And so for him to negotiate this for us means he knew something good was under the table.
Coming back with the ambassador in the US, he was sent to Guantanamo Bay to actually interview these two guys.
Yes.
And the information that he came out says they were low risk and so on. But information available on WikiLeaks document shows it's not true. Ben Atif is actually high risk.
That means the
And
ambassador.
the other one is lower risk. But whether high risk, medium risk, there's a risk there.
It means the ambassador is not qualified to negotiate on our behalf, because you don't just go and get what's handed to you. The ambassador and Ghana should have done their own their search. They didn't. They took it by mouth that yes, America is the end. If America says yes, it means it's done. And that means we do not have a credible government to represent us.
Sorry to bother you with question on and on. Would there be like maybe Ghanaian officials were scared if they say no to America, they were going to be facing sanctions and issues and so on?
That's why I say they are not credible. They do not fit to negotiate on Ghana's behalf. Because if you cannot go in and check all your files and research and make sure that you are going to negotiate something better for your country, then don't deal with it. Why should senators in US say we do not want that? Because they did their checks. They did their checks, and so they didn't want to impose such a burden onto the people. But Ghana didn't care. Ghana believes they can do what they want and then impose it on the people. And we have heard it from the administration. You hear it from all sorts of people, Ghanaians, including the president, saying we have a short memory. And so, they will talk about it and let it go. And I believe that was the reason they didn't bother to inform us that this was coming. Opposition was not aware. Most of the important people they consider were aware.
Okay, thank you for that. Prince, if I come to you, from medical perspectives, do you think the presence of these people is causing fear and uncertainties among the Ghanaian people?
I mean, this is no brainer. Everyone in Ghana at the moment is speaking against this. Okay, and Mrs. Alban made mention of the fact that well, it wasn't a good deal to Ghana as a country, but I believe to them, those who negotiated these deals, actually, well, are getting something which we don't know about.
They say that there's nothing.
Well, that's what they say. But coincidentally, yesterday it was revealed that 10 inmates were sent to Oman. And around the same time, it was mentioned that some military equipment and some support gadgets were being sold to Oman.
So,
and,
so
and,
do
and
you
we know,
reckon,
and
do
we
you
know.
reckon Ghanaians one will also have some sort of
course,
attachment behind
something
the scenes?
And let me land. And we know that the equipment and missiles that were given to Oman amounts to $51 million. Okay. Now this is to Oman. So to me,
10 people, let's say.
For 10 people, to me, Oman is getting something. The whole country is getting
So
something.
for 10 people, what do Ghanaians get?
10 people.
For 2 people, what do Ghanaians
For
get?
2 people, Ghanaians are not getting anything.
That's what
But
I
the
say.
people who negotiated, if Ghana is not getting anything, that means the people who negotiated are getting something that they are not willing to tell us.
It's never done that you go
Okay.
around
I
the
think
negotiating table and do not come out with something.
something.
It's never done.
It's impossible.
What was it, a negotiation,
Now-
or was it just a favor that US was asking Ghana to do?
It wasn't a favor.
Well, I don't think it was a favor.
I
I don't think it was a favor.
Okay,
According
because-
to the
Mr.
foreign
Pepper.
minister, this negotiation took place over a period of 2 years.
2 years, yes.
You see, and what she said is there were certain meetings that she wasn't privy to because they were national security issues. And according to the interior minister, he was also not aware. But then his deputy is saying that he was the one who was at these meetings and his boss, that is
But
the interior minister,
the deputy was supposed to brief his
was
boss.
supposed to
And
brief
he
him.
did.
Because this is a very crucial
No, I'm telling
issue.
you, if something or meetings have been had over a period of 2 years, on one occasion I understand that apparently the Minister of Interior was seeking medical treatment in South Africa,
Yeah.
so he missed these briefings. But it wasn't just one meeting, it wasn't two, it wasn't three. It's a period of how many years? 2.
2 years.
Two
That
years.
these meetings
Yeah.
took place. So is he saying that being a Minister of Interior, and according to the Terrorism Act in Ghana, Anti-Terrorism Act in Ghana, he has the powers to limit certain people from coming to Ghana. So the point is, at what point was he aware that these people are coming? I don't think it's something that he found out yesterday.
Yeah, that's the question that I was about to ask you, and let me put it straight to you. Why was the deal treated so secretly? Because if it wasn't the Fox News in America breaking out the news, obviously people of Ghana and America would have just got no idea
Because-
about this.
can
But
I-
why
can
was
Yes, let me
Can I-
let me
please,
let
please,
me
hold-
look
hold
at
it,
the
hold it.
legal aspect of it.
Yeah,
You see, under Article 75 of Ghana's Constitution, 1992, subsection 1, the President may execute or cause to be executed treaties, agreements, or conventions in the name of Ghana. You see, when they say you execute something, that means you sign it on behalf of Ghana.
right.
You understand? So for there to be for you to be a signatory to something, there should be an offer, there should be an acceptance. It goes back and forth. You bargain.
But to go through this bargain, would not the parliament? Don't you have to involve them in that?
Not. It depends on what stage you are. But according to subsection 2, a treaty or agreement or convention executed by or under the authority of the president shall be subject to ratification. So that means the president signs it, and the authority of the president to sign it is actually lesser. The parliament must consent to him signing it first of all. And believe you me, this is an agreement that wasn't between, say, Prince or a citizen of America. It was between the government, as the executive or secretary of state of America, and Ghana's foreign ministry and the national security apparatus. So, under our laws, parliament should be briefed. The foreign relations committee of parliament, should deliberate on each
Stage.
word
That's right.
of
The process, the whole process should
of
be
the agreement,
right.
and it must come to the parliament as a whole for them to vote on this.
Vote on. So Prince, if you want to add something on it, why was it treated so?
Yeah,
secretly?
well, I mean, I believe that Obama administration made a promise, and seeing that his term of office is near, he trying all means, anything at all he can use to achieve his campaign promise, and so he's forcing this down the throat of any nation that loses guard. So it's not about a country wanting to help, a country being very humanitarian, and so so sad about the fact that somebody doesn't have any place to go. It's about one person, one president wanting to achieve a campaign promise.
Exactly.
And so, be it Ghana, Sierra Leone, wherever, anywhere in the world. But what intrigues me is the fact that we have countries in South America, Mexico, Brazil, all these, Colombia.
Venezuela, yeah.
So why Africa? Okay, and I believe that the president has something in store for us.
Can I say this?
Is he
Can I
trying
say
to
this, yeah?
destabilize the subcontinent?
Prince, I need to say this, yeah? You remember when the EU decided to give African countries 1.3 billion? We
Right.
deliberated on this before.
Yes.
And these people were actually not from Mars. They were people from Africa. And what happened? Our president said what? They're not taking those people back. Is that not what they said? They're not taking them back, they're not taking the money. Is that not what we discussed?
Well,
Right.
they didn't take the
They
money.
didn't
It
take-
wasn't
they didn't
about,
take the
it's
money.
about
No, you
taking
see,
them back.
The agreement was we'll take the money to resettle these people. You understand? So that was the condition. But our own people, we said we're not taking them back, even when there was an incentive.
So why this?
So
why
why
this
import
for
terrorists?
foreigners who are just not just prisoners?
They are not
but
just
terrorists?
humanitarians, you see. They have been accused of terrorism. And you see, in most countries, let's say for instance Ghana, when you're accused of treason, that means you've done something that is injurious to the state. But then I think terrorism is even more than the state of Ghana. It's about humanity as a whole. You understand? So this even goes beyond and above just a state. It's about humanity. You understand? So
And
for-
our government do not
and
care
our
about
government actually
humans.
likes to
They
take
are
these people on
represented.
humanitarian grounds, but then African governments when given a deal by European countries to take our own people who were crossing the seas to come into Europe because of instability in certain countries like Sudan, we've opted not to take them. So if our president is saying that we are humanitarian and what have you, then we should go back
That
to
is a lie.
take people from Sudan or
That-
Southern Sudan
that
to
is
come to Ghana.
That is
Because
what
means that
what
we
I
are-
believe was done was it was a gun under the table and a wink and a handshake. That is what was done. Promises were made, and our government, in their innocence,
No, naivety maybe. No,
mm,
not innocent.
they go out and pretend to be, took in, and also they were not going to tell us. That is what I suspect. That is the
our
reason
constitution.
that they've done a lot without us knowing. They normally do things and then spring it on Ghanaians, and it becomes the debate of the nation, distracting people from their everyday lives, which is not fair, which it affects them financially, emotionally, and all the least. So it was a deliberate plan to just do it under the table, ship them in without telling us, and as you rightly said, we heard it from Fox News. Why should Ghana hear such an important event that is happening or going to happen in their country from another station? And so the government had no intention of telling us. In their foolish thinking, thought Ghanaians would just go along because we are good people, we are naive, we are this.
But Mrs. Saban, Ghanaians will go along, but it looks like Ghanaians are bouncing along. Nothing
No,
is being
That
done.
that is what, see, I've said this before. They are forgetting that we are in 2016. We have the WhatsApp, we have all the social media educating us. They refuse to tell us certain things, and it comes out.
So in this case, what are Ghanaian people going to do about it?
Ghanaian people cannot do much apart from talk, and the government is aware of that. Ghanaians are forever talking about issues that they should have been told before. So this is a form of distracting people's attention from the doomsday, from the economic issues that are affecting them, from increasing electricity up to where most people can't afford, for not having water, for people dying on the roads. The issues that are affecting Ghana, now nobody's talking about it.
Everybody is talking about Guantanamo.
And it's a plan.
And I'll say this.
It's a plan.
Okay. Before you add your bit, let me ask you this. These guys are originally from Yemen or Syria or whatever. So if it's time for them to set them free, why can't they go back to Yemen? Because Yemen had already taken about 20 or 22 prisoners. So why can't they take these two?
My point is, you
You
see,
know
if
better.
they are low risk,
They are not low risk. There's a
According-
medium
according to-
risk
according to
and
the
a
foreign
high
minister.
risk.
now according to the foreign
But
minister,
by information from WikiLeaks, it shows these guys are not low risk or whatever you. There is a high risk one and a medium risk. And even if it's a low risk, there is a risk involved, and they shouldn't be in Ghana in the first place.
what we should understand is, historically, these people were from Saudi Arabia. They have, roots in Saudi Arabia, and they were born in Yemen.
So they should be. Why
So they
in
should
Ghana?
be in
Why?
the Middle East and not Ghana.
What links do they have at all in
They
Ghana?
have no links to Ghana. It's
So
the president-
why did they find
The
themselves
reason the
there?
president is given for getting these people is his war powers. That under his war powers, he can do some things and not consult parliament. Fair game. But what we have to understand is that the war powers, let's say that one, President Kufuor actually declared a state of emergency. When you declare a state of emergency for a particular zone where the time limit is not indefinite, you see, you have to still go back to parliament for parliament to say you can carry on. So war powers, as we know, you can invoke war, you can say you are declaring war, but you still need the consent of the parliament. So it's just the president trying to run rings around Ghanaians. And my point is, you see, a government is as good as the opposition it has. I can play football with you, I can beat you 5-0. It doesn't mean that my strikers are good. If my strikers are good, that means your defense was so poor.
Rick, that's
So
right.
there's a what do you call it? There's a action and there's an opposite reaction.
Right. So are you trying to tell us that in current Ghana they have a weak opposition?
I'm coming to that. We've seen the best opposition that has ever been in Ghana from 1997 to 2001. That was the best opposition.
So the current one, are you
I'm not
telling
saying
us
if
they
you
are
have
the
a
weakest
president and
opposition?
his team who are team B, I'll tell you, your guess is as good as mine. Because if amidst all this hullabaloo, amongst all we're hearing and saying, yeah, it takes the Christian Council of Ghana, Ghana Pentecostal Council, whose mission statement is not foreign relations, and they don't have any expertise. Maybe they do evangelism across, they do meet people, but their mission statement is not foreign relations of
Well,
Ghana.
maybe probably no one is talking, so
No, I'm
they
coming,
just have
I'm
to just
coming,
come out and
I'm
speak
coming.
up what's
They've
bothering
heard
them.
their church members murmur in church that what the president is something they're not happy with. We do hear them talk about corruption and whatever society and issues that affect Ghana.
That's not Christianity.
No,
things,
in a
isn't
way,
it?
because they are charities, you see, so they can talk about these things. But the expertise, they can talk about this, but the expertise is not that. We do need the opposition leader. The reason I'm saying this is not just because he's any opposition leader. He's a former Attorney General of Ghana. He's a former Foreign Minister of Ghana. You see, being an Attorney General, that means you are the government's lawyer. So whatever the president does, you need to say whether this is legal under the laws of Ghana or not. So if the opposition's, the government's Attorney General has actually said, maybe under your war powers you can do this, and the president thinks he can do that, being an Attorney General, and even the parliamentary opposition party, they do have their constitutional legal team, they should come out and say that you don't have these powers. And that's the reason why we're having democracy, you see. You do something and you have to account for it. And whilst we are having this tit for tat between the opposition and the executive, then Ghanaians will be well informed to see who is really doing what and who's not doing what. But here we are, Christian Council of Ghana comes out, the Chief Imam's office comes out to say that this is being xenophobic attacks on Muslims. You see, the whole argument or the whole contours of the argument is changed. Now it's become Christians against what? Muslims.
That's right.
But what we have to remember is that whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, you're Ghanaian. You see, when that circle fire thing happened,
Right.
it went after everyone. It
Yes.
wasn't about Christian.
Exactly. You
It's
say
not-
you
it's
are
not
Muslim, I'm not going to ban you.
No.
You are Christians, I'm
You
going
see,
to ban you.
death does not know a
No.
child, it doesn't know a Muslim, it doesn't know what. So we should limit the scope of this discussion to the actions and inactions of the president and what the opposition or any other body that wants to pin government would have done different. And that is not the discussion we're having now. So now it's become very confusing and who gets it. And this year, riding along.
Right. Thank you very much for that, Mr. February.
If I may add to what KK has just said, of course, yes, I do believe in what you rightly mentioned, that the opposition leader, who happens to be an ex-Attorney General, and
An
an
ex-foreign
ex-foreign minister,
And not just that,
should
he was
be-
the head of
should
the
be-
UN General,
of course, we know all that. Should be the one to maybe first of all come out to oppose what the president said.
But
I
before you go on,
sincerely-
please hold on.
right,
Before
okay.
you go on, do you think now he's in opposition and he thinks maybe if he should come out to condemn this and he should come power, the US are not going to be playing
Exactly.
cool with him?
So, you see, you want to be president of Ghana.
Look, this guy was.
Because
Wait, KK, you had your turn. KK, you had your turn.
African countries
KK,
have
you had
never
your
been,
turn. Can I
responsible
come
on
in?
their own. They're always dependent on foreign
President,
countries.
Okay, let's continue. Right, exactly. That's exactly what I think is going on. Now, the current president is trying to say, "Oh, USA, I mean, we like you so much, we want to help." According to them,
Just like that.
according to them, because they are not having any financial gains from this deal.
But Ghana, there's a cost to
Now
Ghana. That's what
it's
we
a
should
cost to
remember.
Ghana. It's a cost to Ghana. But in a way, what he's trying to tell the US is, look, even though Ghanaians are not happy, I'm willing to try and convince them that this is a good move.
He
These
wasn't
are our
convincing
brothers.
us.
Let's help them.
Right.
Now say,
You convince someone by telling them something.
now,
But he hit whatever he was going. So he's not trying to.
Let me learn.
Yes.
Let me learn. Now, say the opposition leader should come out right now and oppose vehemently to this move. What do you think the US is going to think about us? Or what do you think the administration that went ahead or that tried to achieve this agreement between Ghana and the States how would they see the opposition party?
So,
Can I answer that?
And so,
Please,
to
hold on,
answer
hold
this
on,
question,
okay,
I'm
hold on.
trying to offer a solution. And my solution is the same way the Secretary General is coming to ask some questions and demanded some answers from the President. I think it shouldn't be the flag bearer. It should be a team within the opposition party. Use this
But
message.
we can have a feel
It
of
should be the
anything of
parliament.
that sort.
You see, this
Parliament
conversation we had.
should sit and
Of
debate
course.
this. The Parliament should sit
Parliament
Of course,
and
Parliament,
debate this.
Parliament is for the nation. Of
Yes.
course. And
It
so
should-
they
so
need
it
to
should
debate.
be-
Now what I'm
if
saying
the
is,
Parliament,
as an opposition party,
Then
they need to have.
I remember I watched
Right.
something that President Mahama was saying. The
Yes.
Parliament are they sleeping or something like that?
He said Parliament was sleeping.
Yeah, that
And
doesn't
he
mean-
actually said it.
He
guys,
said it, yes.
the oppositions are in Parliament.
Let me tell you
sleeping
something.
because-
Do you know the reason
This
I
is-
brought the
this
foreign
is
minister
possible
into it
of
is this, yeah? Under President Kufuor, we had Hackman Usajiman as the first foreign minister, and then Kufuor became the foreign minister afterwards. Then after that, we had Kwesi Oseje. Kwesi Oseje has actually come out to condemn what is going on.
But this is one person on his own.
That's what I'm saying.
But the Parliament should
No,
be
he's no longer. I don't think he's any longer in
There you
Parliament.
go.
He's
There you
no
go.
longer in Parliament.
He's
There you
no-
go. So-
he's
so
no
what-
longer in
what's
Parliament.
He's
happening
no
to
longer in
those
Parliament,
who
but
are there?
he's
He holds
showing.
no position in the NPP.
No, he has
That's
a position.
why.
He still has a position. But
No.
what he's saying is,
No, at the
you
moment.
see, no. Because
But
under
has he
MPP,
been
And
National
then,
voted?
of course,
Has
they-
he been
they-
voted to represent the
He's
Represent-
not
people?
he's a member of
Yes.
MPP. He's a
So-
member of MPP.
so those are the
And he's
things.
a member of
You
the
don't- you don't wanna
See,
come
what,
out.
National
what,
Council.
what we need here
Yeah, so
is
he's a member of MPP's National Council. But what I'm trying to say is this. Opposition leader, have that conversation going. Because we've had this before. Nana Akufo-Addo, when there was VAT increases in 95, he organized that could be
KKK, no.
Yeah?
This is-
Tell me what.
this is-
if
look,
there's VAT
after this
increase
issue-
of 17% and Guantanamo Bay
Look.
prisoners in
Let's
Ghana,
say,
which one is more
let's
Totally different.
say after 2 years.
This is
Let's say after
different.
2 years,
Yeah.
these guys have remained in the country for 2 years.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. No
Burkina Faso,
attack.
just 2 years ago.
Wait.
No, hold on.
Wait. I'm
Okay,
this is an assumption I'm
okay,
making.
okay.
No, you
Let's
don't
say
make
it's
assumptions.
country.
You
It's
don't
just
make
my country for
assumptions.
2 years.
Prince,
Nothing
Prince,
happened.
Prince.
Prince, you are American student. You don't.
There's
No.
relationship.
You
It's
cannot
all
make
about-
assumptions with people's lives.
Okay.
That is the bottom line.
No.
Prince, we don't want to veer off the road. Let's go
Right,
straight
okay.
to the
No
point.
assumptions, it's
When
people.
you
What are we
were
talking about?
talking, you said the cost. Ghana is involved paying the cost. Right. It's really interesting. Someone do his or her kaya on the road, sweat in the sun, and at the end of the day, the person is paying bills, water bills, gas bills, and electricity bills, and you use the money you collect as tax from this individual and pay for the living cost of someone.
Someone's
do,
business.
Do you think it's fair?
Oh no.
It's not right. It's not right. It's not fair. And
Right.
also that we've been
Be
lied
careful.
to, because in the beginning we had members from the administration saying Ghana is not gaining any financial
Right,
business
from
from
the
it.
bills, right.
And then the ambassador from US also said it's not our cost, it's Ghana's cost.
Yes. So that means if you are
And
not
then
paying,
we
So
heard that
it's a sharing cost.
no, in the
Right,
beginning he didn't
it's a
say,
Ghanaian people.
he did not admit. He said, no, it's your responsibility. And then he's now apologizing that, no, that was wrong. They will be responsible for their upkeep and maintaining them. So overall, Ghanaians has been lied to. And so that is where we have to go down to. Why did the government choose not to inform us accordingly? Inform us meaning informing the parliament. Parliament is saying was not aware. And we're hearing even some members saying, I was not aware, I was not informed. Rumor was even going out that the foreign minister thought they were women. Whether they were women or men, it does not matter. You are there to represent us. And what I've noticed is that this administration treats some of the issues as their own personal, individual issues. And that is my concern. Because a representative is to go and represent
the people.
But it looks like Ghana do not have representatives who are honest and respectful enough to represent Ghana.
Okay.
One more thing.
All right, go on.
what you should understand is, under the laws of Ghana, we don't operate a strict separation of powers, as happens in America. where if you're a member of parliament, you cannot be a member of the executive. You see, under our laws of Ghana, 60% of the cabinet must come from parliament. You understand what I mean?
Right.
So if a president has about 60% from parliament, that means there were members of parliament who were aware, so they should then have that sort of discussion.
But did that
It's
discussion
not
take
happening.
place?
It's not happening. That's what we're trying to say.
All
You see, what is happening is
not admitting.
what people don't want to admit what if they know or don't know. Why? Because our structures in Ghana are very weak. People are not held accountable. We vote for people. That is what we think is democracy. But the actual truth is, democracy is not about just election.
So our democracy in Africa, especially in Ghana, is failing the people. Is
Yes.
that right?
If you're talking about democracy and rule of law means that's what we're talking about. Rule of law is one of the central underpinnings of democracy. Is that someone, you see, the right to trial and all these things. These people have actually not been tried. They've not been put before court.
No.
You see, so what we are saying is that America by itself has violated the rules of natural justice and rule of law. So what Ghana is doing is to perpetuate America's what? Injustice.
Why?
Because these people-
there's a question that will come later on
You
based
see,
on
these
what-
people
what-
are not
what
in
you
Ghana
said. Right.
and roaming the streets. Apparently they are going to be monitored and they'll be under house arrest. So that means they are curtailing their freedom. And that is what the government of Ghana has agreed to. But under our constitution, you see, our signatories to whatever treaty must conform with international public law. And so far, we have not done that. And we've agreed to something that even our parliament has not ratified.
Right, that's very, very interesting. Prince, let me come to you. It's very interesting. First of all, these guys were not meant to be Ghana, but they found themselves on the land of Ghana.
They love it. That's what they are saying.
And they are loving it.
They are loving
They
it.
are loving it.
They are
They say,
enjoying
Ghana,
it.
you guys are awesome. You have nice hospitality and so on and so
How
on.
did they know Ghana was
Right.
hospital? But when they didn't have all those
Well,
gadgets to inform them, that
they-
is someone from us.
they were-
Right. So
But,
they-
but,
they
but
won the World
my question here,
Yes.
my question here is, if there was or there is a conflict going on in Yemen,
Right.
why don't the U.S. resettle them in the U.S. but rather send them to somewhere? Because documents circulating shows that some senators refused for the U.S. government to bring these guys to the U.S.
Yes, they
So
are.
why, in the first place, why is the U.S. expecting African countries smaller like Ghana, who is not even like capable of looking at the security of itself, to do a bigger job like that?
Well, as I said earlier, I don't know whether the Obama's administration is trying to destabilize the sub-region, because if you listen to what went on in Ouagadougou on the 14th, which is
Couple of days ago.
Friday morning.
Thursday
So
actually, Sarah, Thursday.
a group that is affiliated to Al Qaeda actually bombed some hotels down, and 20 people lost their lives. And the doctor who's in charge of the care of the injured is even saying that more are going to die.
Right.
And looking at more going to die, and looking at the proximity between maybe Bolgatanga and Ouagadougou, it's
Even
just
Paga, let's say Paga is the
Let's
northernmost
say-
part, or Hamley, if you put it that way.
the
people of Paga
it's just
are
and,
saying that
and,
they are
and,
fearful.
and the borders of Ghana are so porous. Anybody at all can drive through. Anybody at all can leave. Look, Ghana, you don't need to register your number. You can walk up the street anywhere, get yourself a
SIM card.
start using internet. Are we gonna monitor that?
And even how
Really,
you
we are not.
gonna, I think one of the documents also circulating on the internet. The interior minister doesn't know if these guys are going to be using smartphones or just basic
Seriously,
phones.
they have no
And
idea.
if these guys
Now-
should be
now
using
just-
BlackBerry, BB
just-
messaging,
just
it's
for-
going to be really difficult
just
for
for
them to
interest's
monitor
sake,
their
just-
movements and their conversation and so on.
Just for interest's sake, and just for the fact that my background is medicine, I would like to throw something in. Now, even if, let's just say that these guys are low risk, or they have no risk at all. Now, you've kept somebody in isolation for 14
years.
And you think nothing is going to happen to their mental
Psychologically,
state?
these guys are
It's
going to
been
be feeling
proven.
better.
It's
Bitter.
been-
They're going to tell
it's
you
been
we are
proven.
okay
It's
and
been
so on
proven
and so forth. But
that-
they feel very bitter in
Yeah, enforced
within.
isolation can trigger severe psychosis.
Yeah.
Now that together with the fact that the bitterness in them, how do you think the two are gonna marry? Like it's very easy for these people to wake up one day and get radicalized.
They are not
And
as-
whoever did that assessment didn't even factor in the medical implications.
I think
the psychological
I don't really
and they
think there
think
was
Ghanaians are
proper
going to-
risk assessment
It was.
involved.
It was
To be
very-
honest,
I think
by the Americans, and they knew.
we didn't do our risk assessment.
that's right.
we
You
did
are
it.
taking
So
them,
we-
so you have to
yeah.
do your risk assessment.
And then,
When
let's
was
agree
that
on this,
done?
yeah, Prince. It wasn't that they were going to be radical, as you see. If you are a lion and you see blood, you know how blood is like now. You've seen something different from what you were used to say if you were introduced to water. These are people who traveled to Afghanistan, for goodness sake. Of all the places in the world.
Let's say
For all the-
that
let me be real. In 2000, if you mentioned Afghanistan, Afghanistan was an isolated country. Nobody, it's just like North Korea now. If I tell you that this person is from North Korea, you take a stand back.
All right.
That is how it was like. You don't travel from Yemen then, it was peaceful to go to Afghanistan. Not for any reason.
But what reason?
Oh, come on.
Of course, this is not very good.
What do you call it? The Taliban were in power at the time.
So
They were sheltering Osama bin Laden.
so that means there's enough evidence for us to believe that
Why did
these guys are
my point
terrorists.
is,
Why
why
were
did
they
the Americans
detained?
Kept them for 14
You see,
years.
they were combatants. They met them there, arrested them, and found out they were Yemenis. That was even the reason to take them, because Yemen then were also breeding grounds for terrorists.
So why did they keep them for 14 years without trial? Because
Let me explain
meeting
this.
them on the battlefield means
No.
they have a business to do right
Let
there.
me
So
help you
if you
this.
have to arrest them, you have to try them.
Right. You see, 2000, right before the American elections, around September of 2000, before Florida and everything happened, there was a U.S. bombing. You see, one of the U.S. nuclear submarines or U.S. submarines were actually bombed on the coast of Yemen, USS Cole, on the coast of Yemen by Al Qaeda. You understand? And so to say that someone from Yemen, which was a hotbed for terrorists, has traveled to Afghanistan, where the host or the, how do I put it, the main architect of Al Qaeda was hiding, was there for terrorism.
Okay, all right, people. It's been interesting discussion, and you could go on and on and on and on and on. But we are here to find out what really is happening in Ghana. We're going for a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.